Hey, Boaz here with a pedal powered talk show. We're here at Custer State Park to talk with Chad Kremer, the Bison herd manager. Let's go, Phil.
The pedal powered talk show is a talk show on a bike, and you're watching it now.
Chad, how did you end up managing a bison herd?
The animal itself is what intrigued me into it, and actually in college I had a public speaking class at the time. It was a 25-minute informative speech assignment, and back where I grew up in southwest Minnesota, there's a small state park that has a small bison herd, and so I thought, well, that interests me, and ended up going to that and meeting some people that were raising them, and just kind of took off from there and became my passion, and here I am 23 years later.
And then every year you do the big Buffalo Roundup.
We do, the big Roundup, and that's become quite an event. This year we had a new record with the 50th. Just a little under 22,000 spectators showed up to watch us bring them into the corral. You literally can be right across the fence from them on our last push when we bring them into the corral, you know, within 3 foot of them going by on the fence. So there's long history with bison in Custer State Park.
Have you ever had like a close relationship with one specific bison?
We did have one several years ago here. We saw a visitor that saw him born, and the cow at first claimed it for the first few hours, and then she started kicking the smaller one. There was one that was a runt. It was quite a bit smaller, but we found it the next day and bottle fed it. We nicknamed him Clifford. He basically thought he was a dog.
Wow.
He'd come, you know, he snuck in our house a few times, and he'd stand on the deck with his nose against the screen at supper time and wondering when we're going to let him in. But they're several hundred pounds to 1,000 plus pounds, and especially with the horns on them, they think they're playing, but that's a weapon, so I never ever trust them.
Have you had any scary interactions with a buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, over the years on horseback riding them, you get some that come out and chase you, and especially now with kind of the selfie movement, people get way too close. People don't realize how fast and agile they are.
Yeah.
And then I start explaining it to them, and their eyes get big, and they're like, really? You know, and almost a 2,000-pound bull, he'll jump a 5 to 6 foot fence from a standstill.
Were you up for a question from the Ask-O-Matic, our automatic question asking device?
Sure.
Okay. If you borrowed a time machine, would you go to the future or to the past?
I would go to the past.
Is there anything specific you'd want to see?
It would be very interesting to see when North America, the United States, was being settled.
Yeah.
You know, we take for granted what we have today and how easy it is. And back then it wasn't for fun it was for survival. So being back in that, it would have been a tough time, but it would have been a lot of excitement and a lot of adventure.
Yeah. Well, Chad, thanks so much for chatting.
Yep, you bet. Thank you.
Now click on the bike to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss an episode. Or click on that red box to watch another episode right now.
We do occasionally have, you know, a conflict, and it's usually from people trying to get a picture and getting much, much too close.
Yeah. Makes you want to put away your selfie stick.
Yeah.